Hey guys, have you ever lost a lot of weight, then looked at an old photo and thought, wow, was I really that big? And how did I not see that? Well, that was my experience before my weight loss last year. I knew my clothes were getting tight, but in the mirror, I thought I looked fine. I wasn't in denial exactly. I just didn't feel any real urgency. I wanted to be healthy and at a healthy weight, and I was exhausted from dieting and working out, and I felt a bit hopeless, to be honest. And even back then, I never really felt I needed to lose as much weight as I finally did. It wasn't until I started documenting my weight loss with pictures that I could even see the weight loss from week to week. My eyes deceived me for quite some time. And if you're still in that place right now where the mirror says you're fine, but the scale says something else, I'm going to explain why you can't see it yet and why the truth so often only shows up after the weight is gone. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 things: what weight and fat blindness really is, why your brain hid the truth from you, why that clarity only clicks after the weight comes off, and most importantly, how to finally see yourself clearly so you're never blindsided like that again. So stay with me to the end, because that's where the magic happens, where the what and the why create the wow. Hi, I'm Cathy Bracken, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you taking time to stop by and hang out with me for a bit. Don't forget to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and give the video a thumbs up. Now, let's define what weight and fat blindness is. Weight and fat blindness is not a medically recognized term. It's the experience of being overweight and genuinely not being able to see it. It's not total blindness. It's a partial awareness with minimal emotional impact. You may notice that the scale is going up, that your clothes are feeling tighter, and that your body is changing, but that information doesn't register strongly enough to change your behavior. You tell yourself, I'll just deal with that later. In plain language, it's a form of weight gain denial, not because you don't care, but because the change happens so gradually while you still feel normal day to day. Sometimes we only start paying attention when embarrassment or a health scare finally overrides that lack of concern. So it's awareness without urgency. Now, I personally see this as a form of cognitive dissonance. I call it weight-related cognitive dissonance. And it's the discomfort you feel when what you believe about your body doesn't match reality. For example, you believe I'm a healthy size while your clothes no longer fit. Or you know you've gained weight, but you keep acting as if it doesn't matter. Those mismatches create mental tension. So your brain tries to reduce the tension by minimizing, denying, and rationalizing. And when the truth about your weight clashes with what we want to believe, the mind works to avoid that discomfort. So we can deduct that weight and fat blindness is a body-mind perception issue, but it should not be confused with body dysmorphia. There is a clear difference between the two. Body dysmorphia, clinically referred to as body dysmorphic disorder or BDD, is a mental health condition where people obsess over perceived flaws, even when those flaws aren't noticeable to others. It usually centers on a specific part and leads to obsessive behaviors and significant anxiety. People with BDD normally have a negative body or self-image, whereas people with weight and fat blindness tend to have a rather positive body or self-image while the blindness is upon them. The internet search engines define weight and fat blindness backwards. They define weight and fat blindness as feeling fat even after major weight loss, but that doesn't fit what people actually describe they've experienced. People describe weight and fat blindness as a past condition. They say things like, I didn't see it until the weight was gone, not something that they wrestle with after weight loss. So I think the internet search engines have gotten that definition wrong. Anywho, what helps with this dissonance is making the invisible visible, consciously connecting factual information like the number on the scale to what you actually care about, which is your health. Now, why does this happen? Well, your brain compares what it sees day to day, not to a photo from 3 years ago. When change happens a pound at a time or an inch at a time, it doesn't trigger an alarm. Yesterday looked basically the same as today. That's why the image in the mirror can register as looking fine. It isn't lying, it's reflecting the version of you that your mind has already accepted. Your self-image locks in a picture of who you think you are, and your brain works to keep that story steady. The brain does not like inconsistencies. And here's why the truth waits until after. Gradual change is easy for the brain to absorb, but rapid change forces an update. Once the weight comes off, an old photo suddenly reveals what was hard to see before. The shock isn't from deception, it's from awareness arriving all at once. That's when people say, I can't believe that was me. That isn't vanity, it's just the moment your brain finally catches up to reality. And sometimes people will look at those old photos and think, why didn't somebody say anything to me? Well, it's hard to tell someone you care about that they're gaining weight. Even from a point of concern, it can land as hurtful. Part of the reluctance in saying anything is that they may not actually see themselves the way we do. Now, I don't have a perfect script for that conversation, but if you do, if you have a good way to share with someone that you love that they are gaining weight and suffering from weight blindness, please share it below. So what do we do with this clarity going forward? Well, the worst thing we can do is turn it into a point of shame. Now, that person in the old photo, they weren't weak and they weren't in denial. They were just doing the best they could with a brain that was protecting them. So first, meet that person, your past self, with kindness, not judgment. And second, protect your future self. Now that you know the mirror cannot be reliable, do not rely on it as your only truth teller. Use photos. Use how your clothes fit. Use how your energy feels. Use honest friends who love you enough to tell you the truth. Those measures can't be fooled. I want to add that this clarity matters so much in midlife, whether we're focused on health, confidence, or even dating again after 40, 50, or 60. The person who can see themselves clearly is the one who actually gets to enjoy the body they work so hard for. That's true whether you're getting back out there or just wanting to feel at home in your own skin again. And third, hold on to this healthier version of yourself. If you struggle to accept the new weight, get your mind right about accepting it. If you don't, that fear and anxiety can start to look like BDD. Mindfulness is imperative. So here is what it all comes down to, the wow. You lost the weight and you look amazing now. Congratulations. You know now that you were never trying to be dishonest or fool anybody on purpose. Your beautiful brain just held on to a picture of you that was kinder than reality until the change was big enough for your brain to update its pictures. Now that you can see, don't waste the gift on regret. Use it to enjoy the body you're in. Now, if you can relate to this, let me know in the comments. When did you become aware that you were suffering from weight and fat blindness? Was it a photo, a doctor's visit, or trying on old clothes? Guys, I want to give a shout out to Miss Monique for her special request for today's video. She's been both a friend and a subscriber to the channel from the beginning. Thank you for all your positive feedback, Monique, and comments. I appreciate you. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, tap that notification bell, give the video a thumbs up, and share this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Cathy Bracken, and until next time, make today amazing and be well.